What's up, everybody? Hello, Washingtonians. Hello, the United States of America. Hello, fellow citizens. Hello, government officials and all essential workers. I am going live for basically what I am proposing. If you're joint, these people are fucking stupid. Quit fucking driving like an idiot, man. Sorry, guys. We have some really challenged people here. So I am the owner of a business here who is deemed essential. Now I have a bone to pick, and I think that most of you might probably, if you're an essential worker, you will probably likely agree to this, because this makes for a really messed up so this is what I want to talk about today. So in this, I was reading a story today. This is a lot of my anger and a lot of my outcry right now, it's really based off of a lot of this misrepresentation of the virus itself, the unequal rights for all workers. I mean, I'm sorry, but I thought that workers' rights were protected, but they're not, because guess what, guys? I run around and I work all day long. I work my ass off every fucking day of this whole fucking pandemic. I have to get up off my ass, off the couch, and work for a lower wage at that. For a fucking lower wage at that. Because I am forced to provide lower labor prices to compete for jobs, to even make a profit. To even a slight profit right now it matters, because my baby deserves to have formula, because he deserves to have formula, he deserves to have clothes, he deserves to have all of these things, because it's not fair for him to not have those things just because I don't want to go to work, or because I feel mistreated by the simple fact that certain businesses are deemed to be open, right? So we're supposed to be open, but the problem with this is, I was just reading an article about how a lady in I think it's in Kentucky, I'm pretty sure it's Kentucky. She opened up most of Kentucky, I'm pretty sure, as far as from what I know, majority of Kentucky is a rural area. It's got a lot of farmlands, and this lady, or this couple actually, married couple, that opened up a coffee shop for the community, for them to have coffee, for them to have a place, to get great internet, and for people to provide jobs for the community, something that community lacked. But the fact of what happened is, now the federal government is adding $600 per person that is going on to unemployment, and they're adding $600 fucking dollars per person on top of what they qualify for unemployment as it is. They're also getting now $600 more fucking dollars on top of it. Okay, so she can't compete with that. How can you compete with somebody telling you that, hey, come work for me for 2, 3 to 4 fucking times less of a wage than the government can actually provide for you to sit on your ass and do fucking nothing until clear out to July? So how is that fair to the small business that she's trying to save? How is that fucking fair to any of us that are right now are essential workers, can't fucking file for unemployment because we have to go to work, because we're essential workers, so therefore we can't file for that shit because we don't qualify. Because if we go and file for that shit, it's gonna get looked at as fraud, and we're gonna end up paying that shit back of however much the government decides that it is. So at the end of the day, this is my proposal. I think I honestly think this is one of the best proposals that I know that I can think of, and I think it's fair. I honestly think it's 100% fair. I honestly think that anyone that is working right now through the COVID-19 that is deemed to be a essential worker and that is working on the front lines of this fucking pandemic, I think that we should start an initiative and we should speak up to the government and have a law put into place that allows for 60 days of time, of paid leave time for all essential workers at a premium. Because we're not making that premium right now. We're not making any more money than we would if it was a normal time. And on top of what, even on top of all that shit, we're also having to fucking work for a lesser wage than the fucking people that are sitting at home doing nothing. Sitting at home doing fucking nothing. Getting more money than all of us. Fuck, man. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I got a tickle in my throat. But I'm outraged. I'm absolutely fucking outraged. This is ridiculous. This is unfair. It's ridiculous. We're focusing on this goddamn shit in the wrong fucking way. To be honest, in my opinion, what should have been done, instead of all these moratoriums and all this mess that the government has created for us by providing money into people's hands, which all it's gonna happen is majority of the people that are fucking homeless or that don't have a goddamn income or don't even have money normally will take that money and spend it on drugs. We're gonna have more fucking overdoses and more money spent on bullshit than we actually are gonna have money spent in the reality of good things. I just don't understand why we, as a government, couldn't think of the fact that, oh wait, so let's see. What are the most essential bills that need to be paid? Oh, rent? Okay, great. Rent gets paid. Okay, what about utilities? Utility gets paid. What about other, things like that? Okay, if we were being smart as a goddamn government, we would take a claim, we would take a system and create some jobs that system, in order for all of these bills to be paid. Say, for example, if a person cannot pay their rent or cannot pay their mortgage for those months, the government should have had a fund that was a loan fund, that was a grant fund, basically, for all landlords to draw from in order to cover the rent for these people. And it should be the same thing that should be done for all essential bills, like utility bills, like your electric bills. Things like that should be paid. And then you should be given one-time payment, and you should have to file for that shit. You should have to prove that you got these bills that are worth that much money, and then you should be able to go and spend that money on those bills. And it should go to those companies that you owe those bills to. Because at the end of the day, majority of these people are gonna fucking sit on their ass and they're gonna wait and wait and wait, and they're gonna use this moratorium and wait and wait and wait to pay their fucking bills and pay their goddamn rent. They're gonna wait for all that shit, and they're gonna fucking eventually end up having another collapse, another economic collapse, because we're gonna have a fucked up housing market. Once again, it's gonna collapse, even worse than 2008. And then we're gonna have more issues with paying more bills and more creditors and more bankruptcies in this country. We're gonna be overwhelmed. We are heading, people, I don't think you understand the severity of the fucking situation. I really don't think that people are understanding the severity of the fucking situation. The Governor Jay Inslee is a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, but I have to say this, but at the end of the day, deaths are gonna happen. The pandemic is already happening. We are already losing one life. One life is a loss. One life. We're at thousands. One life is a loss. Complete and utter fucking loss. And we're into thousands, tens of thousands of lives in the United States have been lost already. There is no way that we're going to be able to sufficiently suppress this. There is no fucking way that is not going to spread, because every single fucking day I go to work and I deal with people and I contact this and I contact that. Even though I'm very smart, I have done things in a very smart way, and I've been blessed enough not to catch this shit. Hopefully I haven't been around it. I'm sure I've been in contact with it many times over. But I am so blessed to say I haven't tested for it, and I pray to God that I don't test for it in the future, because I have an infant at home and a wife who's got asthma, and I'm a business owner, and I'm a business of one employee, which is me. I'm the only employee in my whole business right now. And you know, and there's no fucking way that I can pay my bills with the lack of work that I have, and then I also have to provide, because there's no way that people are going to be paying these bills. The only way I've been able to even market my business or get any calls is by providing the lower priced services, because otherwise I will have to close my business, and then I would have to sit here and figure out how the fuck I'm going to pay for any of my bills, because guess what? The Paycheck Protection Program didn't pay my fucking loan. I still haven't even heard back from that loan yet. I still don't even know if I'm going to get the loan. And I'm just sitting and waiting. And all these big ass companies went and fucking fooled the goddamn program and got millions of dollars that they weren't even supposed to or be allowed to get. But they still did it anyways. And guess what? They're not getting any goddamn fucking penalties for it. They just get to, you know, oh, sorry, whoops, my bad, here's your money back, my bad. That's all they got to get to say. Because you know what? If I went and I filed something and they found that out, I accidentally or I misqualified or whatever the fucking reason is, they would give me a penalty and I would end up paying a goddamn penalty. Fuck, man. I'll end up fucking paying a goddamn penalty for no fucking reason. I'm gonna end up being in the shaft. Because guess why? I had to pay $5,000 back to the state a while back when I used to work for the Carpenters Union, I'm sorry. And I had to pay back $5,000. And especially in the time where I didn't have anything. I was homeless. I was living on the goddamn street, and I had a child that was living on my backseat of my van. And guess where that fucking money that I was supposed to get for both of my kids, I was supposed to get $2,000 a piece. I was supposed to get a $4,000 return, and guess where that goddamn money went? Instead of me being able to get an apartment for my kids that year, and that I was dependent and waiting for, guess what happened to that money? That money went to the goddamn state. And guess why they faulted me? Because my company at the time that I was working for told me to file as a lack of work, and then they fucking went and turned around and denied the claim after telling me to file the claim. After the company specifically told me to file as a lack of fucking work, they faulted it. And then when I tried to fucking, when I tried to go and, whatever it's called, you know, when I tried to go back to court and I tried to claim, basically claim these facts and state that this is wrong, I wasn't able to do that because in order for me to even file anything with them, I would have had to show up to Olympia. I had no transportation or way to get up there at the time, or a way of communication, because I wasn't making any kind of money. I was living in my fucking van with my children. And so, at the end of the day, this system is so goddamn broken, it makes no fucking sense. That these big corporations are able to just, we can sit around. And then on top of that, then you got all these people that are laid off, and I'm sorry, and it's been furloughed, and it's not their fault. But what is at fault is the government giving them way more money than they would ever get in their whole fucking lifetime. They wouldn't even be able to get those goddamn incomes, but they're getting them anyways because the government says it's okay. Because the government says, oh, you know what? Instead of rioting, guys, why don't you just get more money? We'll shut you up. We'll take your constitutional rights, and here's some money for you to shut the fuck up. But people, businesses like me, and businesses like the lady from Kentucky are closing down because they can't afford to compete with the government giving free benefits to people that don't even fucking deserve it half the time. Half the time these people are fucking doing nothing but just barely getting by, getting high every fucking day instead of taking their time to learn and to build a business and to go through hell and pay every fucking tax every year and be a stand-up citizen. That's what a lot of our business owners do. We sit down and we fucking take our time to break our backs for all of you, for all of these employees, for all the employees that we hire, for all the jobs that we create. We get to pay with our fucking hard labor. We get shafted at the end of the day. And all I ask from all of you to please sign the initiative when you see it. If you do see it, please sign it. I'm gonna try and hopefully somehow, some way, maybe I can try to get this into voting. And you know, I don't know. Maybe we can try to get this into Congress. Hopefully, we get enough signatures that this becomes a bill. That I'm really hoping I can get enough signatures for this, because this is not fair. I really don't think this is fucking fair. I think this is absolutely crap. I feel like this is bullshit, and I feel like we're being mistreated. So, alright guys, I'm gonna get off. I gotta get to this job that I'm, again, having to slice my fucking labor costs down. And I'm not even gonna, after taxes, I'm gonna barely make shit on this job. Barely make shit. I can't even pay my fucking rent right now, guys. I own a business in Washington State, one of the most... What the fuck? And then somehow there's traffic on the other side. That's great. That's ridiculous to think that there's traffic right now. There's barely anybody fucking out. Anyways, guys, that's my spiel for today. I don't know. I hope that you guys see the initiative. Eventually, I hope that we can push this through. I hope this gets to the government. I hope it gets into courts, and I hope this passes as a bill. I hope that all essential workers get 60 days of paid leave after this fucking bullshit's over, because they deserve it. You guys deserve it. You, America, that is working hard, deserves it. You guys fucking deserve it. You have worked your ass up, and you deserve it. You don't deserve anything less. These people don't deserve to treat us like shit. They don't deserve to fucking shit, you know. I just think that there's got to be something else done. I'm sorry, but if we're going to be essential workers, we need premium pay. We need the law to state that we can fucking charge that shit, and people have to pay it, because guess what? The government pays their goddamn bills right now, so the government needs to fucking make a decision, because this shit is not helping us. This shit is making it seem like, oh, you know, you're no different than the person sitting at home. The only difference is you have to be out here in the cold and the rain and the bullshit and possibly getting sick or possibly costing your fucking life. But we don't give a fuck about that. What we care about, as long as we get our shit, we're fine. Alright, guys. Have a good rest of your day, Washington.